All right, we are
Broadcast.
live now. Um, Welcome everybody. Welcome to another installment of Hot Routes and Hot Takes. Today's we got two special guests, Brandon and Average Gamer. Um, Average Gamer, I see you're wearing that Tampa Bay jersey.
Yeah, Jameis Winston, my man.
Oh yeah,
He enjoys himself a hot plate of crab legs.
yeah,
He's getting plenty of it over in Louisiana right now with the Saints.
yeah. So later on in this, we're gonna predict wild card weekend. And so you've got two teams you're rooting for, I guess, because you got Jameis on the Saints. You'll be rooting for
Yeah.
them, and then you've got
Yes, sir. Okay. All right. Apologize for that.
and then you got Tampa Bay. I don't think Tampa Bay. I think they got the 2 seed, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So, without further ado, we will get into the start of this. We are gonna start off by talking about the college awards show that happened last week. So, starting off first, it's not up here. Is the Heisman? That's the best one, right? That's what
Yes,
everyone wants to know
that
about.
is actually the only one that I cared about. So
Yeah,
all the other ones I honestly know nothing about.
yeah.
Who won the Heisman
But
again?
Devontae
Devontae
Smith.
Smith.
Just
Yep.
kidding. I know who won the Heisman, but who
Oh,
cares?
gotcha. All
Uh,
right. Yeah, Brandon, tell
Florida
us how you
fans
really
who are
feel.
upset that Trask didn't get it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
who
why it doesn't
cares.
matter because Trask didn't get it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Toby, you want to give us your take on the Heisman winner and everything about it?
So my take on the Heisman winner is I honestly don't think that it should have went to Devontae Smith. We got Justin Jefferson last year who had a very similar season as Devontae Smith, but did not win it due to we got the dude from Home Alone that won it last year.
Macaulay Culkin.
Um Honestly, I think it should have been to the running back
Naj,
Harris. Harris,
Najee. Najee.
Najee, that guy.
Najee.
My man had 1,387 rushing yards for 24 touchdowns, and also he had 346 reception yards, 3 touchdowns. So that just to me seems to be the better move on that one. You also had a ton of quarterbacks that played excellent.
Right. Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, Najee finished fifth. He didn't even become a finalist. So, yeah, I'm a little indifferent about who actually won. I think last year, last year Chase Young got put up there, the defensive end from Ohio State, instead of Justin Jefferson, and I think that's partly due to the fact that um, just again name. That's kind of what the Heisman's come down to is what school you play for now. Um, and so Justin Jefferson played for LSU. They only had room for one LSU player up there, and that was the quarterback Joe Burrow, who ended up winning it after he defeated the Wet Bandits the second time. So, yeah, I don't. But again, Devontae really did carry his team.
He did.
Um, so I'm not disappointed that he got it. I thought he would get it. The thing that I don't like is Trevor Lawrence, the guy who played 6 games, I believe, 7 games, because he was out for COVID and everything like that. Played 7 games, got second place
I
over
agree.
a guy like Mac Jones, who led the nation in QBR and completion percentage, and a guy like Kyle Trask, who again I'm a Florida fan. I love Trask. Trask did amazing things. Um, but a guy like Kyle Trask, who led the nation in yards, led the nation in touchdowns. I think he was 13 or 14 touchdowns ahead of the next person, which was Mac Jones. He had 35 more touchdown passes than Trevor Lawrence, something like
Mhm.
that. That's just coming off the top of my head, so it could be wrong, but it's
Uh,
plenty
it was
before the bowl game, so you
21.
probably can't see that. He
Kyle
had
Trask
21
had
more.
21 more touchdowns than Trevor Lawrence.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence finished with 22.
Yeah.
Now, I do agree Trevor Lawrence shouldn't have been as high as he
Right.
was this year. But I do want to make it a statement that I am honestly surprised that Trevor Lawrence will go down as one of the best college quarterbacks and has never won the Heisman.
Yeah, it's again, that kind of just goes to scheme, though, is the thing. At Clemson, you've got other quarterbacks and other players who have won the Heisman past couple years. And Trevor Lawrence, they run a very pro style offense, so he's really reading the defense, the entire defense. It's not creating it's not a spread concept in the sense that Ohio State is, where it's going to just open people up 15 yards like LSU last year when Joe Burrow was doing a bunch of stuff. So I mean, he's fitting stuff into tight windows. He has to read a bunch of things, and also they do have great running backs too. So yeah, it is crazy that I think he's been a finalist 2 times out of his 3 years. Last year he wasn't a finalist, but I think his freshman year he was, and then this year he was as well. So I mean, he's been a finalist a couple times, but yeah, I like myself some Trevor Lawrence. So it is crazy that he did not win a Heisman. So enough Heisman talk. I think Najee should have been a finalist. I
agree. I
think
think this
Trask
is the
should
year
have
that
been
you
number
could have
2.
taken Lawrence out of the finalists
Yep.
just to put in, that running back that I think should have actually won it.
Right. Yeah. That if I got to pick my top 5, it would have been Devontae, then Kyle Trask, or maybe Kyle Trask, Devontae. I don't know. I'm trying to take the biases out of it, but I think those are your 1 and 2s. Your number 3 is
It's a Florida
Najee.
fan thing. You can't
Yeah.
take the Florida
Yeah.
out.
Exactly. And then number 4 is Mac Jones, and then honestly the rest need to just go away. Yeah. If Trevor Lawrence or Kyle Trask wanted to win, they should have just gone to Alabama. So
Need to go to Alabama if you want to win one. Yes, that is.
all right. Yeah, so Brandon did drop off due to technical difficulties, so he is supporting us in the chat though. So we'll still get some of his comments in. Let's see. The next, we'll just talk about a couple of these. Next is the Maxwell Award, which is the Player of the Year. Devontae Smith, I think that's rightfully so. I think he deserved that as well. So I don't have anything to say about any of these. I don't know. You can't see my mouse, but any of these Devontae Smith ones. I think there's also one for best wide receiver. He won again. Again, I think that's fitting. So let's go to, I don't really care about Coach of the Year, but Chadwell did deserve it with what he's done with Coastal Carolina. They've only been Division I for this year. So they were Division I for this year, and he took them. And he's staying too. He got offered a couple jobs, and he's staying. So he wants to build that culture up at Coastal Carolina, and I love it. So
did
good for
something
Jamie Chadwell.
Scott Frost didn't do.
Yes, exactly. I mean, shoot, the fall of UCF. We can get into that in another freaking episode because we'll be here forever with that one. Gosh darn. All right, the Jim Thorpe Award, best defensive back. That goes to Trevon Moehrig from TCU. He's a guy I hear a lot of stuff about. He plays safety for them. I haven't actually watched any of his tape, though, so I can't say anything about it. I just wanted to bring his name up because he is being talked about as the best safety in this class. Even though it's not a very strong safety class, it's got a lot of depth in the second, third round. So just wanted to bring that up because I never talk about him because I haven't watched his tape yet. I'll watch it in the next couple months. The Davey O'Brien Award goes to Mac Jones for best quarterback. This one, again, trying to take Florida bias out of it, right? So let's just say that. I'm not going to talk as a Florida fan. I'm just going to talk as Davey O'Brien is for best quarterback. And if you want to look at stats, you can look at stats. And out of the 5 main quarterback stats, which would be passing yards, passing touchdowns, interceptions, QBR, and completion percentage, those 5, you've got 3 of them. I guess so. 2 of them going to Kyle Trask, and 3 of them going to Mac Jones as the leaders. Which Mac Jones has less interceptions by 1, and then he has the better QBR and the better completion percentage. But again,
Trask has the yardage by
Trask
about
has
400 yards.
400 yards, right? Yeah, 400 yards and 10 touchdowns.
11.
11 touchdowns. So that's a big number, big discrepancy. And then the best part about it is Davey O'Brien Award. They have a Twitter account, Facebook account, and Instagram account, and they say they have a post for each of the finalists and say like the post of whichever one you think deserves the trophy. And combining Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, Kyle Trask came up with 18,000 more votes than Mac Jones. 18,000 more votes and still lost. I'm trying to stay level-headed and not be, a Florida bias guy, but 18,000 more votes, and that's what you're saying is the deciding factor.
I think,
Not even just
someone
saying
stole
that.
the election here.
Yeah, what is going on? What they stopped the count early? I don't understand. But whatever. He ends up winning it because he's from Alabama and they're in the championship. That's probably what it ends up coming down to.
It comes down to.
But whatever. I'm mad about it. We can move on because I can sit here and talk for 45 minutes about it. Remington, best center. That's always been one of my favorite trophies just because, growing up as an interior offensive lineman, and Landon Dickerson, he's a beast, man. He was playing for FSU, transferred out of there because he wanted to win a championship. And FSU was on the downfall because of Taggart. And it's on its way back up, I believe, in Norvell. But yeah, he transferred out of there, goes to Alabama, and he's kicking butt, man. I don't know if it's because he has 2 5-star guards next to him, but I mean, he is mauling people, 0 techniques, 1 technique, going up to freaking the Mike linebacker. He's smashing people. He's communicating well. The team loves him.
Well,
So
is he
definitely
recruited from the Fisher administration? Is that where he came from?
Yes.
So the Fisher administration.
No, he wasn't because Fisher was 7 years ago.
Was he 7?
How crazy is that? Yeah, I only know because
Really?
Brandon and I were talking about it a couple weeks ago. So
Because Florida State was like the center school. Like if you look at a lot of the centers in the NFL right now, a lot of the good ones are from Florida State.
sorry, I just got a text message. I just got to reply to it really quickly. Okay, so, yeah. Anyways, I agree with that. Next one, the Lou Groza, best place kicker, goes to Jose. Or I can't say his name. He's super tattooed. If you look up a picture of him, this guy is extremely tattooed. He's like 30 years old. But he did play well. I think Alabama's kicker was slightly better. I love Florida's kicker. He's probably going to be a 3rd, 4th rounder. He's one of those guys that is just extremely clutch and has a long leg. But at the end of the day, he's up there as a top 5 kicker. So
I think Sarah Fuller got robbed here.
I'll just leave that there. The butt kiss, best linebacker. Now this one's interesting. I love Wusu. I really do. I think he's a great linebacker. But when you've got guys like Xavier Collins, which is right down here, who just won Defensive Player of the Year, why I don't understand how he gets Defensive Player of the Year, but best linebacker goes to another person. I like Wusu, but I'm starting to fall in love with Xavier Collins. And so Wusu was my number 2. I think Xavier Collins should have won the best linebacker. I don't exactly know if that was a Davey O'Brien thing as well, but that's basically all I have to say about it. I don't know if you have any comments.
Nope. Beats me.
Nope. Beats
Nothing
me.
In chat. Nothing in chat.
Nothing in chat. All right. Next. We're going to just do a couple of these very, very quickly. The Outland Trophy, Best Interior Lineman, goes to Alex Leatherwood. That's a little curious to me because I thought he played right tackle for the entirety of the season. So I don't know about that. I'd have to double check it. I just saw it, and I was surprised that Leatherwood won it. And then wide receiver, we already said we like. Best running back, Najee Harris. The only other guy that should have even been up there in consideration would be Brees Hall from Iowa State and ETN from Clemson. I think Najee is the right choice there. Tight end, Kyle Pitts is not even close. It really isn't. That's not Florida bias. That's if you look at the
That's
stats.
honesty, yeah.
I mean, he was out for 4 games, and he still put up way more yards, way more touchdowns, contested catches than the next guy, which would have been Brevin Jordan from Miami, and then Pat Fryermuth is the next guy. So moving on, the Bronco Nagurski and Ben. I'm gonna slaughter this one. Bednarik, which are 2 of the best players of the year for defensive players. Both went to Zaven Collins. So I think I don't exactly know what the difference is on those. Sorry. Former walk-on, don't care. Disney Spirit Award. I'm sure that actually is probably pretty cool. I don't really know what it's about, and I don't know this Clemson player, but I got nothing to say, so we can skip over that. But I think that's a cool trophy. Same as the top former walk-on. Those 2 are pretty cool trophies. Academic Heisman's goes to Brady White, who actually is returning this year, I think, to Memphis, so that's exciting. And that's it. I don't care about Steve Sarkisian. I don't care about the Warfield Trophy for community service. But congratulations, Teton Saltez from New Mexico. Good job. All right. Stop screen sharing that. How'd you like those? Those were good, right?
Yeah, great. I mean, other than the Heisman, I'm still kind of upset about because whenever you got a wide receiver that wins the Heisman, whenever a average wide receiver in last year's draft class, had the same exact statistics, just 1 less rushing touchdown, 1 less punt return touchdown, but has 1 more receiving touchdown, just kind of doesn't do it for me.
What the heck, man? Dang it. That was going to be really funny.
What'd you try doing?
I was trying to look up the picture of him standing on the sideline.
Oh, yeah. Whenever I look like I could probably take him.
Yeah.
Just all. Man, you need to have that stuff on standby.
I know. I can't find it. It's like Alabama took it down or something. I don't understand. I'm looking all over the place. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
We all know. Everyone knows.
We all know the
Just
picture.
picture it in your head. Him standing there, helmet. Was it helmet to the side or helmet on?
No,
just
he had his helmet on. He was just kind of like, and it was just his arms were lanky as heck. The Slim Reaper. All right. Next thing we'll talk about. Let's get into a little NFL action.
All right, we can talk more NFL.
Yeah, you wanna go over this week's slate of games and end up trying to pick some.
All right.
We're gonna pick against the spread too. We're not just gonna pick regular. Let's see.
See, I don't know exactly the spread. I put down my predictions.
All right, so we're not gonna pick against the spread because I can't find the spread on here, which is stupid. I don't know why ESPN doesn't have it, but
I can find the spread for you.
Yeah, if you could look it up, I'll
you can start.
I'll bring this up. There we go. All right, so I'm sharing the screen, and we'll look at these games. I'm gonna hide our faces just so people can read the
Go ahead.
The actual names a little bit better. Let's see if I can. Don't go into search history. There we go. Thank you. All right, so
For everyone.
all right. So that should be good. People can actually see this one now. So going into the first game, 1:00 game is Indianapolis at Buffalo. Now, Buffalo is the 2 seed this week. I believe they're the 2 seed. But since
that is correct, they are the 2 seed.
They are the 2 seed. Okay.
So they play the Colts, the 7 seed.
Yes. So they play the Colts, the 7 seed. They're the 2 seed, but since it's a 7-team playoff, now there's only 1 bye this year. So they end up not being able to get a bye. But they did get approved to open up the stadium to 50,000, I think. And so that's awesome because Buffalo fans are absolutely crazy.
I think even if they had the fans not allowed, I think the chosen Rosen will lead them to the promised land.
He's not on them. He's not on their team.
Josh Rosen? No,
No,
not just on the Bills. Who am I
Josh
thinking of?
Josh
Not Rosen.
Allen.
Josh Allen. Josh
Allen.
Allen.
Yes,
That
he's
guy.
good. Yeah, he's
All the
really good.
Joshes. All the Joshes. I like them all.
Yes, no, he's really good. But check out that ticket price: 10,000, as low as 10,800.
Chump change.
In Buffalo fans, man, you know they're going to it. Only game of the season they're able to go to because it's in New York. Oh, okay. So, what's the spread? Do we know? If it's anything under 7.5, Buffalo. If it's over, I'm gonna have to think about it a little
I
bit
sent
longer.
it to you in Discord.
Oh, okay. I'll pull it up. No, I can get. Yeah, I'll pull up Discord. 1 second, guys.
I don't like
You
to
sent
bet
it in
away
general
my
or
favorite.
what?
No, to you
Football.
privately.
Oh, just to me. Oh, I gotcha. All right. Sports betting. And no matter what we say, we don't condone using this advice to bet. If you'd like to bet, please bet responsibly. I think that's all we have to say so we don't get sued. So, yes, the spread. It is Buffalo by 6.5. So if they win by a touchdown, they win. That's easy. Give me Buffalo.
Yeah.
Indianapolis has a really strong team, but so does Buffalo. It's at Buffalo with the fans. And also Noodle Arm Philip Rivers is going to be playing in, I think it's 40 degrees in Buffalo right now, 30 degrees. So
I could give you the.
Yeah, look at the weather for the games too, because that does affect it. But it's Buffalo all the way. There's no way. No way it's going to be Buffalo. All they got to do is win by a touchdown. Indianapolis isn't going to be able to score more than 20 points on that defense. So,
I know currently it is 22 degrees. Let's see what
Yep.
I have going on for.
So I assume since it's 1 o'clock, it'll be midday. It's probably going to be like 40 at least. 40, 45. That's my guess.
28 with partly cloudy. So
28.
28.
Yes. Oh my God. They're going to be running down their throats, man. Yeah, give me Buffalo by 7, by 6.5, whatever it is.
Buffalo by 10.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to crush them. All right, next we have NFC game. We've got Los Angeles Chargers versus the Seattle Seahawks at Seattle. They don't have fans in their stadium. The spread is, I forgot to look at that first. It is Seattle by 3.
Yeah, I would take that. Seattle has a good offense, but the Rams have a great defense as well. They'll, match each other. The issue is the Rams offense without having a solid quarterback going into this game. They should,
Is Goff injured still?
Last I heard, he had a broken thumb.
Thumb, right? Yeah, on his throwing hand. So they might have to go in with John Walford, the XFL standout. You remember? I don't remember what team he actually played for, but yeah, he played in the XFL for a little bit. So
Yeah, he's uncertain as of right now. From
awesome.
what I've seen.
Yep. So better coach, better quarterback, home field advantage, even though it's not really an advantage right now, other than the travel. Yeah, I'm taking Seattle by 3.
Yeah, I'd take him by
Definitely.
3. I think he'll still be.
It's going to be lower
closer than he
scoring,
should.
though, I would think.
Yeah,
But,
I agree.
yeah. And so even the spread thinks that it's 42. You think they'll get 42 total points? Someone ends up winning 23-20 would beat the spread for the over. I don't know about that.
I don't even think they'll hit the over because
that's hard. I'm thinking it's
Rams,
going to be something like 13-17.
That's more what I'm thinking.
That's what
Because
I'm
the Rams
thinking.
are going in with 2 hurt running backs. They
Yeah,
they had
they're banged up. Yeah,
Akers is back out there, but Henderson is on IR now. So
yeah. Nope. I
give
agree.
me Seattle by 3.
I think Seattle by 3 as well, and I'm taking the under. With Buffalo, it was 51 points as the over. It's also cold. I don't think they're going to be slinging the ball too much, so I'm taking the under on that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that they will be hitting it too much. I think you'll get a couple of
Yeah.
over the head passes to Stephon Diggs. Can you
Yep.
dig it, man? But
And your boy, no, that's never mind.
yes, Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley is Beasley on their team? Am I stupid?
Is
Yes.
that-
Yeah. He is. I was psyching myself out because I was looking at Tennessee at the same time, and so I was like, no, that's Corey Davis. Yes, and your boy Cole Beasley underneath are 5-yard routes. So
He's a underrated wide receiver. Been
Yeah.
underrated.
since day one. All right, going into this one, this is an exciting matchup. You've got Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Bucks going to the Washington football team. They're going to a 7-9 football team. And guess what? For some reason, the NFL thinks it's a great idea to put this in the primetime spot. This is the 8 o'clock game. Tampa Bay versus a 7-9 Washington football team that does not have a healthy quarterback other than Kyle Allen. Let that sink in. NFL decided that instead of a division rival matchup between Los Angeles and Seattle or Indianapolis at Buffalo, and Buffalo is one of the hottest teams right now, with fans in the stadium. Why? Why is this your primetime game?
That's on Saturday night.
It's still your Saturday night primetime.
I agree though, because as Bruce Arians said it, they're not playing a 7-9 team. They're playing a 4-1 team. You know, Dwayne Haskins isn't there.
Without the
They
cancer in the locker room.
Really, they don't have the strippers to distract them.
Yeah.
I think it's we're looking at a new Washington team here. You know, it's not the beginning of the season anymore. They got the vets back in. They're looking at it differently.
Who's playing quarterback? Is Alex Smith healthy enough? Do we know? That's what I'm saying. I don't know. I still don't think they're going to win, but it's 8 points. It's 8 points. Tampa Bay by 8.
I see it.
Tampa Bay has to travel up north. If you're telling me it's 28 in Buffalo at night in Washington D.C., it's probably at least 30 as well.
Okay, so Alex Smith and Terry McLaurin are questionable.
Questionable?
Yes.
And your best receiver is out, and so now you have to deal with Chris Sims.
It's going to be the game of the defenses.
Yeah.
Both of these teams have a great defense.
Yep.
The only difference is the Bucks have the better offense. Tom Brady going back into the cold, which he's used to playing in.
Are you guys hearing this freaking Discord? My Discord's blowing up, so I don't know if you're hearing it. Are you hearing it or no?
I do not.
Okay, that's good. It's so freaking annoying. Sorry, it's like going through my headset. And I don't know how to freaking get it to turn off. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. I'm trying so hard to undo it. I don't know why it's Bluetooth. I don't want to.
We're having technical difficulties over here.
Jeez Louise. Quit Discord. It's because it was sitting in the background. That's why. Okay. So, excuse me. It's Tampa Bay by 8. Who are you taking?
I'm taking Tampa.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me the what's the spread? What's the
It's 44.5 is the total. Tampa Bay has to win by 8 to hit the spread. This one's hard for me.
That one's that's I
Because
kind of want to take the under.
Yeah.
I think Tampa
I think
will
so.
win by 8, but I don't think it's gonna be a high scoring game.
Yeah, it'll be close. I think the same thing with Washington as I said with Los Angeles. They're gonna score 13 to 20 points somewhere in there.
Yeah, because what's the temperature over there? Are they?
I'm assuming it's gonna be 30 degrees again. But the only thing that I have questions with is Ron Rivera is a really good coach. And so he's a very disciplined coach, a really good coach. So he gets his teams to play for him. And that defensive line, when you have Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen on the inside. You have Matthew Ioannidis. You have Montez Sweat on the outside. Both of those guys. You also have Chase Young on the outside. So you've got 5 guys that they can literally put hands in the dirt and just rush the passer and stop the run.
Yep.
And Tampa Bay has struggled with pass protection, especially the left tackle Tristan Wirfs, who's a rookie. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think they're going to get a bunch of stalled drives. It's going to be 31 too. So
well,
Tom
they've
Brady
been
throwing
throwing a
the
little
ball.
bubble screen to Antonio Brown. I think they might get him more.
Yeah, that's a
more in there.
possibility.
Especially like what you said, if they do start stopping the run, I
Yeah.
think there's a lot of opportunities in
I think
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of dead drives and stalled out drives because of sacks.
Mhm.
But I'm going to take Washington by 8. I think Tampa Bay ends up winning.
Oh,
But I think Washington keeps it close enough. It's going to be something like a 24-20 type of game, or 21-17, something like that. It's going to stay around 4 points. Is my thought, just because there's going to be a lot of stalled out drives.
I'm on the
But Tampa
opposite
Bay
end of
still
that.
wins. You think Washington's just not going to be able to get anything going? It'll be like
I
a
think
20-3
it's almost
game.
nothing. They'll have two field goals. I think the defense will be able to get the Bucks off sometimes,
Yeah,
but I think in the end, the offense isn't going to be able to stay on the field long enough to give that defense a break.
yeah,
And by second half, they're going to be broken.
maybe. I don't know. I mean, they're playing for that coach, man, and that defensive line's extremely good. But yeah, they're lacking at corner, and Tampa Bay has a plethora of wide receivers.
I believe what's going on with Mike Evans last
I
last
don't.
week he got injured.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters, but I don't think he's playing. I think he's on IR. But I could be wrong. I think they put him on IR.
Let's
Because
see.
it was a knee, right? Or am I tripping?
Mike Evans has a chance.
Oh, okay. Well, good.
They're
Yeah,
saying that
I'm still
yeah.
taking it. But 44.5 points total. It's
No, I
gonna be
don't see them
over.
hitting
I mean,
that.
you see it being something like a 24-27-6 game. I see it
Yeah.
being a 24-17 game. So
Yeah.
either way, I think we both agree this one is going to be low scoring, which is good. I like defensive matchups. So
I think the next two we might disagree on.
the next 3 or no?
Yeah, probably next 3.
Okay, well, good. All right, so this is exciting. So Sunday night, the Sunday matchups. We've got Baltimore at the Titans, and all 3 of these, I guess they are having fans, so that's exciting. Baltimore at Tennessee, and
Let's.
it's Baltimore by 3.
What do you think? Give me your take.
Ooh, that's hard. Baltimore struggled to stop the run this year, but that running game is also really good. So last year, Tennessee is the team that knocked off Baltimore as well in the playoffs. Um, I'm going Tennessee. Just has to stay within 3 is the thing. I think Tennessee ends up winning it. So I'll take Tennessee staying within 3.
I thought we would have went different ways, but
That's what you're taking too.
we both went the same way. Yeah. The Baltimore's defense hasn't been doing it for me this year.
No, and
No one can stop Derrick Henry.
yeah, that linebacker they got in the first round, Patrick Queen, has struggled so much in coverage and run support. He's athletic, he moves around the field, but he's been struggling.
I think all year we've been seeing the quarterback struggling more than we
Yeah,
thought. We thought he
right.
would be, really balling out
Yeah,
there,
I thought he'd take a step up as a passer.
but we
I
did not
really
see it.
thought that,
I
and
think
he
this
didn't.
is his game that he does step up. I think we
He's gonna
see
have to.
I think we
So
see a better version of him,
yeah,
but I still think Titans win it.
yeah.
I think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a good
Oh, I
game.
do too. I think this is gonna be a really, really good game, and I think out of all the games, this is the must-watch game.
Yes.
I think Los Angeles, Seattle is going to be exciting. Indianapolis, Buffalo is going to be pretty good too. Tampa Bay, Washington. I actually,
It's a
I'm
game if
actually
you love
liking
the
a lot.
defenses.
I'm
These
liking
games
all
are
of
if
these
you love
matchups.
defenses, I'm
Yes,
thinking.
except for Chicago, New Orleans. Spoiler, that's going to be an ugly game.
But who's Chicago's quarterback? Who are they going with?
Yeah, that's the question. Question of
That's
the day. I don't know. But going back really quickly, 55 is the spread. Is the total for Baltimore, Tennessee. You think
I'd
they
go
go over that?
I
You
think
think
I'd
they're
go
going to
over.
go over?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think both teams.
I don't
Tennessee's
see either of
defense.
those teams letting off the gas if they
Tennessee's
get on.
defense is not bad, but their linebackers, other than their linebackers aren't very athletic, and so you're going to have a safety come up and try to spy Lamar Jackson, and I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, I think 55's hard. That's a high number. I wonder what Vegas sees that we don't see. But I think I'm going over. I like it. For something's telling me go over.
I'm with you on that one. That's not too much controversy here.
No. Did we agree on every single one so far other than the Tampa Bay Washington? You took Tampa Bay going over. We both took them to win, but you took Tampa Bay over. I took Washington to cover. Wow.
Yep.
Look at that. All right. Next one, the 4:40 game is Chicago at New Orleans. So this one, New Orleans is a 10-point favorite against Chicago.
Yeah, I see it. If they put up the same performance as they did, especially on Christmas Day, I believe that game was.
Yeah.
I can see the Saints
Yep.
going off.
And the thing is, what's really been kind of their downfall in the playoffs is Drew Brees. Because he's playing 16 games in 17 weeks, and his arm is just getting shot. But this year, I think he's only played in 10 games.
He
And
had to break because of his injuries.
Yeah, because of his injuries. In the last couple weeks, he hasn't been playing. So I think his arm's a little fresher. I think they're going to be able to throw the ball a little bit more. Michael Thomas is returning, I'm pretty sure is what they said. So, or they're able to bring him back, something like that. I don't think they'll need him unless they want to cover the 10. I think they win.
I think they would have more issues if they do start him. That's my only concern.
Because he'll just want to be fed.
Not necessarily that he'll want to be fed, but he'll kind of take up space on the field.
Yeah.
And he hasn't been out there enough to get back in the rhythm.
Yeah.
So I think he would be more of a hindrance.
Maybe. So at the end of the day, I am going to take Chicago to cover, though. 10 points. No, I'm not. First half, that's what I'm going to say.
Yeah,
first half
they'll cover.
First half, they'll cover, as in, like, they might go into halftime down 17-6. That's not covering, is it? No. So I think they're going to get killed. I was trying to make the case for them where it's like defense makes a bunch of stops, but offense just isn't producing.
And that's exactly what I see. I see the first half being, not a close enough game that you're biting your nails if you're a Saints fan.
Yeah.
But I think it's enough for Chicago to kind of feel like they have something.
I mean, the thing is, in running back, David Montgomery has been playing really well in efficient football, like 5-6 yards a carry type stuff. So if they can get a little bit of a running game going, I think they have a chance to cover. But this could have been a 13-point spread, and I would still kind of feel going New Orleans.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the over-under is only 47.5. And I think that's partly due to the fact that they don't think Chicago is going to get more than like 13 points.
I think I'd go over.
I'm going over as well. I think they're thinking, they're going to have to abandon the run after the first quarter just because they're going to be down by multiple scores. But I'm going to take the over as well.
I think the Saints put up to go over alone.
Yeah. I think Saints probably get like 38 points is the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, on this defense, they've got good safety play. They've got good front four. but I mean they're technically I guess it's front five, but um, their linebacker play is kind of weak. So I do think they're just going to sling it, throw out routes, throw deep deep balls, and just get Alvin Kamara cooking in the passing game. I don't think they're going to be able to run very well, but I think just get them, angle routes and stuff. So yeah, 38-13, and that covers by like 6.
Yeah, I can see that. 38-13.
38-13. That's my thing.
38-16. Take
Something
a
like
couple
that.
more field
They're
goals.
going to get a couple field goals and a touch. I think they get 1, maybe 2 touchdowns at the most, and then a couple field goals.
Start the Bears kicker on any weekly pickups.
Yes. Yeah. He's going to kick a couple 50-yarders. So, last game of the week, or last game of the weekend. It's the Cleveland Browns versus at the Pittsburgh Steelers. So this is a division rivalry game. They played twice already.
They have, and I think they split 1-1.
And the thing is, they just played last week as well.
I
Week
think
17, they played each other.
the Steelers, they sat Big Ben for obvious reasons. They didn't need to win this game.
They still stayed pretty close, if I
They did,
remember correctly.
and that's what kind of scares me. They
And the
didn't
best
show
part about
any
it, they have no coaching staff. Three of their coaches are out with COVID, so they're not able to travel with the team.
Oh,
And
the Browns?
of the Browns.
Okay, yeah. No, I got the
Couple of the
Steelers
Browns.
winning this.
Steelers are only favored by 6. I understand it's a division game, so they've seen each other twice this year. But dude, Steelers by more than 6, man.
Yeah, I would take the Steelers going over 6.
Yeah.
That's last week. They didn't show their hand at all. They kept all their cards in their back pocket. They knew that they didn't need to win.
Right.
They just wanted to get a good feel of the team, get everyone out there. Basically, practice game. No one hurt yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm wearing a Browns jersey, but no, I don't believe in it. I'm only wearing it because I like the player, but they cut him. So Browns, you're gonna lose. Yeah. So it's Pittsburgh by 6. We both took the over on that, and then the total is 47.5. And I think they'll probably stay under that because that's what 24-24 would end up getting it. So if someone got 27-23, that would end up getting it. But
I would go with the under.
Yeah, it's going to be close though. That's one of those. I think it's probably something like 24-21, 24. I guess that doesn't cover, huh? I feel like I'm overthinking this now. Huh.
Yeah, I'm just going with the under. That's
You know what? No. Yeah, I'm going with the under, and I'm still going with Pittsburgh by 6. I keep forgetting that Cleveland doesn't have a coaching staff. So
they don't have coaching staff. They don't have their best wide receiver.
They're going to be drawing stuff up in the sand, man.
They still got Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Yep, that's going to be an issue.
No,
and Myles Garrett's going to see Mason Rudolph on the sideline get really mad.
He's going to be chasing after him on the sideline. He won't be on the field anymore.
Yep. All right. I'm going to pull up one more game.
Well, do you want to go a little bit deeper? Because we both agree that we think that the Bills will win against the Colts. So do you want to go for?
So you want to go into the next matchup? What it would end up being?
Yeah, it would end up being the Chiefs versus the Bills. If
right,
we both agreed the Colts will lose.
Well,
Bills
no, not yet. It would end up being So the next thing would be Buffalo versus.
Am I looking at the wrong stuff?
There's just one more. There'd be one more game is the only thing. Because since Buffalo's the 2nd seed, they wouldn't play them. It gets reseeded by the highest seed. Yeah, so it would get reseeded.
Hold on. I'll show you what I got pulled up. Let's just copy that bad boy. Why did it not? Oh, is it really not going to do that?
Yeah, I think it's so Chiefs would play the lowest seeded team that won, which means it'd be Pittsburgh's the 3 seed, I think, and we got them winning, and then
All right, well, it's not wanting me to share this with you.
it'd be Tennessee. So it would end up being Tennessee versus the Chiefs, since we both said Tennessee would win. And then it would be Buffalo versus Pittsburgh, since we both said both those teams would win. And then, so if you want to, let's do that. So Tennessee Titans versus the Chiefs.
All right.
Yeah, because
So
I think Tennessee's the
look it up real fast because
yeah,
when
I
I
think
looked
Tennessee's
up,
the 5 seed and Baltimore's the 6 seed, something like that. Hold on.
Tennessee's the
Playoff
4th seed.
playoff seeding. Yeah, because they reseed after the win. Is the thing. Okay. This is cool.
See, the bracket that I found has it differently, not unless.
Okay, so this is what I found. Playoff picture. Okay, I will share this screen now. Stop sharing that. Share this one. Yes, this one. Okay. So, yeah, this is the seeding for AFC and NFC. So,
Yeah.
So they get the first round bye. We said Bills would win and Titans, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, Bills and Titans. So Titans are the 4 seed, so they would have to play the 1 seed Chiefs at Arrowhead Stadium. And so, who do you have on that one?
I'm taking the Chiefs.
I am too. That's spoiler. I am too.
Yeah.
So, yep. I think Chiefs are looking pretty good this
So
time.
then the Bills would then play the
Bills playing the Steelers
yeah,
at Buffalo.
and basically what I said at this point in my notes is I will take anyone that advances over the Steelers.
Yes,
As I don't think the
that was my thing
Steelers.
too.
I don't think they should have gotten as far as they did.
No, I think they're one and done.
And I agree.
Yeah.
That's Ben doesn't have it in his arm anymore.
No. And they didn't have a bye week this week, or not this week, this year. They used week 17 as their bye week.
Yeah.
So
So James
plus
Conner
Buffalo's gonna have fans in there too. Yeah, James Conner is banged up.
he's banged up. You know, he's a great player. I love him.
Yeah.
Saved me on fantasy multiple weeks, but
Yeah.
you know, that's Juju dropping balls, trying to do too many dance moves.
Yep. Exactly.
So
All
then on the other side of the fence, we got NFC.
Yeah, NFC. So we had Saints winning, and we had
Correct.
Seahawks winning, and we had Bucks winning. So it
Okay.
would end up being the Bucks versus the Packers, which I kind of am liking the Packers right now. But I think if a team could take them down, it would be the Bucks.
I'm with
so
you
I'm gonna
there.
go with the Bucks. I'm just gonna do it.
Well, see, I'm biased. You know, I want the Bucks. You know, I'm really hoping this year. I want to see the team that's hosting the Super Bowl to play and
Yes.
win at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's kind of pulling me towards the Bucks. Not a huge Brady fan personally, but on the football level, you can't deny that man's a great football player.
Yeah.
You know, he knows the game. It
And
seems like
also,
the offense is starting to click more.
they're starting to get a little bit of a running game as well, and that's the
Uh-huh.
Packers' weakness too. So if they can get Leonard Fournette, Royce Freeman, Ronald Jones, and Keyshawn Vaughn going, if
Yep.
they can just get a 3-headed monster back there, and Brady only has to throw the ball 20 times. If you tell me Brady throws the ball less than 25 times, I'm telling you Bucks win this game by 10.
Yeah.
So
I
I hope that's what's going to happen.
I'm rooting for the Bucks. If the Bucks make it to the Super Bowl, I will use my stimulus money to buy me a
Super Bowl ticket.
No, I'm not that good.
I was about to say that thing's
jersey.
gonna be like $25,000.
Yeah, the stimulus check can't afford that. But I can get a jersey. I'll get a jersey.
There you go.
What jersey do you think I should go get?
Ooh,
If Bucks make it?
Winfield, man, my boy Antoine Winfield, the safety.
See, I'm not
No,
huge. See,
you don't like Winfield?
I'm leaning towards Scotty Miller.
Ooh,
My
okay,
guy.
that's a good one. That would have been a number two.
But then again, Scotty Miller, with all that offensive talent, I don't want to get a one and done jersey. I
Right.
can also see him being
I almost
traded
got a
away.
Patrick Laird jersey for the Miami Dolphins, which, for those of you who don't know, Patrick Laird was an undrafted rookie last year that played running back out of the University of California. And he came in and played honorably for us last year. And so I almost got the jersey. He ended up changing jersey numbers. And then he's played, other than special teams, he's played probably like, I don't know, we'll say 35 offensive snaps. So
I'll do a Chris Godwin one. That's
don't do a Chris Godwin one.
no.
They don't have the money to bring him back. He's on a contract year.
Jeez. I would do OJ Howard, but that man's broken.
But that man might be gone too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, really?
I know. This team's gonna be interesting soon. I
Right.
think you do a Vita Vea, a Tristan Wirfs, Antoine Winfield.
Or do I get a
Devin
Brady
White.
one just as a FU to Brandon?
Yeah, or you get a Brady one.
I'll do a Brady one just to piss off.
Especially if they're in the Super Bowl. I'm sorry, if they're in the Super Bowl and it's Bucks versus Chiefs.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
I think so. Chiefs have some flaws. Chiefs do, which I don't honestly.
Well,
we didn't pick our AFC Championship round, but I'm picking Buffalo against the Chiefs.
That's what I was. That's why I just started doing the thinking.
Yep.
That's
God, we're all over the place here, but
it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah. No, I think Buffalo's the more complete team.
I want to say Buffalo,
and I'm
but
going with Buffalo.
I think the Chiefs. I don't think I can go with Buffalo.
No, I'm hoping Buffalo, and I'm thinking Buffalo, but again,
I'm hoping Buffalo, but thinking Chiefs. So
it's the Chiefs, man. It's hard to it's hard to bet against them.
Tyreek Hill.
I'm going with Bills.
Is Kareem Hunt still their starting running back? Who's their running back there?
No, Kareem Hunt
beat
up a girl and got cut and then picked up by the Browns. No, he's on the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
But they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire and they have Le'Veon Bell. That's their two.
Does COVID make you lose your memory? What's going on?
Yeah, and it's just been a weird year.
Yeah.
So, but so you got Chiefs going to the Super Bowl. I have Bills. We have Bucks beating the Packers.
Yep.
And so they'll be going on to the NFC Championship game, and they will be playing Saints or Seahawks. Who do we have winning here? I've got Saints. Saints. Yeah, Seahawks defense is.
We're calling it a close game against the Rams, and honestly, the Rams are very similar to the Steelers.
And that's the Rams that might not be playing Jared Goff, and if they are, he has an injured throwing thumb.
Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't snap his forearm whenever he came down on that helmet.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going with the Saints, and then
Saints Bucks. This is an NFC South. NFC South. I don't know. They're in the same division. And they
last time they played, it was a blowout.
Saints won both times. Saints won both times. It's so hard to beat a team twice in 1 year. It's even harder to beat a team 3 times in 1 year. So just because of that,
I think it'll be a close game.
I'm going Bucks, but yeah, I think
a lot of the Saints players might go into it a little lackadaisically.
Yep.
They're thinking, we rolled over these guys twice.
They rolled over them twice. Rolled them, man, twice. It's not happening 3 times.
Honestly, I think we're seeing a better Tom Brady than we did in the beginning of the year.
That's the thing is at the beginning of the year and even in the middle of the year when they played the second time, it's all about chemistry. Again, they didn't have an off season. I mean, yes, they went to the park and threw it around, even though they weren't supposed to. But that's different than having live reps in practice and having preseason games to get that chemistry together. So I mean, that's the thing is one, the offensive line wasn't blocking as well. They're starting to block a little bit better. And then 2, the chemistry. Brady was, new to the playbook. He wanted receivers to be doing stuff. They didn't understand what he wanted them to do. So yeah, I agree. I got Bucks.
He's got more time to give them all a good night kiss on the lips.
Yes.
I think they're there. I think that this is the most complete. I think if they don't do it this year, then they won't do it next year either.
No, I don't. I don't think
I-
so. Yeah. So we've got Bucks, and you have Chiefs, and I have Bills.
Mhm.
So Bucks versus Chiefs. Who do you have in the Super Bowl, or who do you have winning the Super Bowl?
If Bucks play like what we think they will against the Saints, then I'm gonna take that Bucks.
Yeah.
If they play up to par, they have a ton of potential there. Everyone's been saying it all year.
hmm
They just need to fulfill that potential.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, Chiefs are struggling to get a run game going because they're out. Their starting right guard, because he's a doctor as well, like an actual practicing doctor from Canada, and so he went up to Canada to help with this COVID crisis and stuff like that. So they're out him, and they have Andrew Wiley playing there, who is a solid guy if you need him to play 3 drives, but asking him to sit there and play an entire season is rough, and he's been manhandled. And I mean, the Bucks have a guy like Villa that'll just be if I'm the Bucks, I'm having him play the one gap. I'm having him Vita Vea play the one technique. I think he's coming back. He was injured for a little bit, but I think he's coming back. I'm having him play the one technique on that side, and just every single time just try to manhandle Andrew Wiley, because that's the weakness, and they can't get a run game going. So I would pick the Bucks over the. Oh, that's hard, man,
It is hard, especially
because
since
of all the
last time they
weapons.
played. Well, last time they played, they just kept on getting it tossed over top of them straight to Tyreek Hill, who was burning them down the sideline.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to make some adjustments, but I think that coaching staff can do it.
Oh man, no, I'm still taking the Chiefs.
You're taking Chiefs?
I would.
Chiefs?
I mean, Chiefs weren't my people. Bills were my people. I would take both of them over the Bucks, though.
So you think Bucks
So,
lose it in the Super Bowl?
yep, I do. I think they make it, but I think they also lose it.
See,
I think
I'm
the
the
Bills,
opposite.
but yeah,
I think if they make it, then they win it. I think that if they show what all they can do against the Saints, then they can repeat that process against the Chiefs or the Bills.
yeah,
But
huh?
they need that defense as well as the offense to step up.
No, they definitely do. Hmm. Oh, well, that's been interesting. What about what's the next thing? Oh, another thing I wanted to bring up, and I was hoping that a couple more people would be on here, just because it's an interesting conversation piece.
The Tua. Is this the Tua piece or is this a different piece?
So it can be both. That's the best part about it. So Deshaun Watson from the Houston
Oh,
Texans, who is 25 years old, I think. I think he's 25.
age
Um,
check.
yeah, check his age. 25 is my guess. 25, 26 at the most.
25.
Yep, 25 years old, and he's probably a top 5 to top 7 quarterback in the league right now. Um, he's been at a crap show at the Houston Texans. And when they fired Bill O'Brien, he asked for them to just talk to him about the GM and the coach they're going to hire. And then next thing you know, they say, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. And then they go on and hire a GM without telling him, without
Yeah,
talking to him, asking who he wanted, nothing.
no communication in there.
No communication. He's mad.
I think they
So
trade him for Frank Gore.
I think Bill O'Brien's not there anymore. If they kept Bill O'Brien,
Maybe.
that's plausible. That really is. Bill, he'd trade him for Frank Gore and season tickets to the Lakers game or something like that. But no, I mean, shoot, I think he's gone. I really do. Unless he sits down with the GM and he talks to him and he ends up liking him. I don't know, but you're gonna have to pay him a lot of money. He's on a contract year too. So if he wants to stay there,
Is he on a contract here? I thought he signed a
no, he's on
reasonable
he's on a 5th-year option right now. Like going into next year, he'll be on a 5th-year option, I think. Right? Am I stupid? 2017 draft. So this is 1, 2, next year. So next year is his 4th year, and they'll have to pick up his 5th-year option, right? Look up spot track. Oh my goodness. Not prepared.
Come on down. Next quarterback and back cash.
Spot track.
agreed to terms of 4-year contract extension worth 160 mil.
Oh, he already agreed to it.
Yeah, so that was September 5th.
Oh, okay. So it's not going to start yet, but
They
yeah, okay.
signed him to
So they already
160,
signed him on a
which
huge
is
contract. I'll bring it
it's a
up.
reasonable cost contract.
Right.
That's
Well, good.
160 mil is reasonable for a quarterback. So, but I can see him being demanding to be traded out. I see that he isn't happy there.
Oh, I
Him and JJ.
100% think so. Yeah.
Um, I definitely see him getting traded out. Where he goes, nobody
Oh,
knows.
yeah. So he's next year he's a $16 million cap hit. Here, I'm going to
Mhm.
share the screen. Share this screen.
Smooth transition here.
Okay. This screen. There we go. All right. Apologize for the ads because there's always a bunch on this freaking thing. Oh my goodness.
No
Okay.
one likes
So
monkeys.
this is his contract. So this was just his 4th year, I guess. It's interesting because I'm trying to figure out. He was 2017, yes, and he was a first rounder, so they could have taken his 5th year option, but instead of doing that, they decided just to sign him. So next year he's going to be $16 million on the cap. The year after that, 40, then 42, 37, 32, and he's ending his contract going into free agency at the age of 30. And then the dead cap is kind of ridiculous. But as you were saying, this is so this year is going to be 16 for this next year, which is good because I think they dropped 20% on or 15% drop on the salary cap because of COVID, and then it's going to go back up. So once it goes back up, you got 40. That's really no big deal, and then 42 is the highest it goes.
Yeah.
And it's going to keep the cap is going to keep going up once they can open up stadiums again. So yeah, it's a top tier QB contract, but he's a top tier QB. I think he's worth that money. So I mean, the best part about it now is you got to think about who wants that, and how much would you be willing to give up for it. If you're the Jacksonville Jaguars, who have the first or second most cap space coming up this year, you have the number 1 overall pick and the number 21 overall pick in this year's draft.
So honestly, I'm sitting here thinking, who's gonna coach the New York Jets next year? And I think, depending on who that is, that's the team that goes in on him.
Yeah.
I think the Jags will be stupid if they tried to do that. I think they're better off drafting Trevor Lawrence.
Because you got to think about it. You're drafting Trevor Lawrence and drafting someone at 21, and you don't have to give up another player with it. That's the thing for a quarterback like this. That's the only argument is that, oh well, Deshaun Watson's a proven top 10 quarterback, basically almost top 5. You can argue that he's a top 5 quarterback in the league. You can argue that. So that's the only thing is that, okay, you're saying he's a proven top 5. Trevor Lawrence might be a bust. I don't think he's going to be a bust.
No.
I think worst case is he's I'm trying to think of a solid starter, a freaking Kirk Cousins. Obviously, he doesn't play like Kirk Cousins, but someone like that, where he's an average to slightly above average NFL quarterback. That's his floor. Yeah, I think we can both agree on that. So, and then but if they want to go after him, because you don't know who the who the coach is going to be. If it is Urban Meyer, Dwayne Haskins, Jesus. It's only 8:00 at night. I'm not tired. I don't know why I said whatever. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, no. Watson. I thought you were
Yes.
trying to say that.
No. Deshaun Watson fits Urban Meyer's scheme, offensive scheme, a lot better than Trevor Lawrence. But at the end of the day, he played with a guy like Haskins, who's not mobile, way less mobile than Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence can still do read options for you, but he's not going to be like Tebow, or he's not going to be like JT Barrett or Justin Fields or any of those guys that Urban Meyer has had in his scheme. Cam Newton, you know.
So you think Watson is going to be more mobile than Trevor Lawrence in
Yeah.
the NFL?
Yeah, I do. Not to say Trevor Lawrence isn't going to be able to run read options. He will, but I think you would have a better time just leaving him in the pocket and then letting him extend plays outside the pocket if he has to. You know what I mean? I think his skill set meets that more. That's what his skill sets are suited more towards.
Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. So if you want a guaranteed guy, a guy that you know is going to fit this offensive scheme Urban Meyer is going to bring in, you can try to go after him.
What about the Washington football team?
That's another team.
They're a pretty complete team. I mean, they made it to the playoffs this year without a decent quarterback.
Yeah. The only thing with that is you're going to have to give up whatever pick you have, which I think if they end up losing to Tampa Bay, which they're going to, it's going to be like 22. So you're going to have pick 22 you're going to have to give up. You're probably going to have to give up a guy like Jonathan Allen and Montez Sweat. You're probably going to have to give up two pieces like that and next year's first as well. It's going to be multiple firsts and a star defensive player.
Yep, I can see that. But I mean, if you compare the two personally,
Yeah.
I would take that over Jacksonville. Because Jacksonville has that option. I can do Trevor Lawrence. But what's the option in Washington?
But that's the thing. Yeah, but you also have to think of what the Texans would rather have. Would the Texans rather have Trevor Lawrence, a first rounder next year, and 21, and then maybe even get a guy like can't really think of someone that's like a good starter on Jacksonville that I could just pop up and put in place. But that's what it's going to have to cost.
Josh
the number
Allen.
one overall. Oh, Josh Allen.
Easier.
There's no way. But yes, it would end up costing a guy like that, or 3 first-round picks.
That's why
one
I'm
of them
saying
being
if
number
I'm
one overall.
Jacksonville, I'm not even looking at that option. I'm saying I'm drafting a quarterback. I'm not trading for this quarterback. But Washington, they got
Tempting, though.
what'd you say?
But yeah, Washington's throwing they're throwing everything they have at this.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I guarantee you right now they've called up this GM. This GM's been in for 4 days. And I guarantee they've already talked to Ron Rivera and whoever Washington's GM is.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, especially Ron Rivera's system. Again, we talk about system. Ron Rivera does a really good job of being able to, since he's more of a defensive guy, he brings guys in that can kind of fit any system. But right now he's got Jack Del Rio, and Jack Del Rio's system fits Kyle Allen and Alex Smith well. But he's a guy that can switch up really quickly if he had to. I mean, they had Cam Newton. Ron Rivera's had Cam Newton, and Deshaun Watson can run the same stuff Cam Newton can.
For sure. Just run it a little better.
Yeah, I think so too. So, plus he's a better thrower. So, I think that's probably the destination. The only thing is,
can they get in that?
Can they? Yeah, you're going to have a pick in the freaking 20s. And I do think Jacksonville's going to look at them and see what they want. And so, you got to pick in the 20s versus the number one overall pick and another pick and possibly a third first-round pick. That's hard. So
yeah, if I'm planning for the future. I'm drafting all young guys.
Yeah,
I'm getting. You're
they
planning.
have too many holes, man, to give up multiple first-round picks for a generational quarterback, but they're going to have to be paying them $40 million instead of Trevor Lawrence. They'd end up paying $10 million a
Honestly,
year for the first couple of years.
Best move for Jacksonville: draft Trevor Lawrence, pick up Ryan Fitzmagic off of free agency.
And then trade Gardner Minshew.
Yeah, I could trade
see if you can get a third and a fourth for him or something like that, or 2 thirds.
But Miami isn't looking to re-sign
No,
Fitzpatrick.
Don't even get me started on that one.
I think that's a horrible call.
I do too. This dude's been a leader. The team loves him, first of all. Second of all, it's not going to cost you very much. Who's your backup quarterback right now, other than the undrafted free agent?
I got it right here. Jamie Newman. Or no, not Jimmy Newman. That's a different one.
Yeah,
Tua,
Jamie Newman's the worst.
Patrick,
Yep.
Reed Sinnett,
Yes,
and
the net,
Jake
and
Rudock.
then Jake Rudock. Yeah, those are your guys. Why? Why? It's going to cost you $7 million a year at the most.
Yeah.
For him.
I think
You've
that's
got cap space. Your quarterback room is only costing you like $10 million right now.
all right. So let's transition from Deshaun Watson
To
to
Miami.
Miami's quarterback. Their quarterback.
Oh. So we have the
We-
number 3 overall pick,
Mhm.
and the number 18 overall pick, and 35 and 50. So those are your picks in the first 2 rounds: 3, 18, 35, 50. And so the worst case is you end up with the 3rd best quarterback in this draft. I think what I would end up doing if I'm them, which is what I hope they do, I hope we trade back from 3, pick up another first rounder next year, a couple more seconds, and give Tua 1 more year. If Tua, because we've got a pretty good team right now, and we've got roster space, or cap space. So if you trade back now instead of just giving up on Tua, let's see what happens whenever you have weapons with him. You know,
Yep.
he really does not have good weapons around him right now, but he also hasn't looked the greatest. I'm not blaming it all on Chan Gailey, the offensive coordinator, who luckily is gone, and so they'll pick up a new one. I'm not blaming it all on Tua. His weapons sucked as well, but all 3, the play calling, Tua, and his weapons, all 3 were the problem on the
Yep.
offense. They all shared a piece of it. So
I mean, whenever
give him 1 more year.
you see what he did with Fitzpatrick there
Yeah.
and without Fitzpatrick,
Because again, yeah, when Fitzpatrick gets in the game with the same weapons, the same offensive coordinator, he's slinging the ball and he's making stuff happen. You
Yeah.
know, the part of it is on Tua, and people say, "Oh, you know, they're not unlocking the playbook. They're calling better plays for Fitz." I mean, slightly. I think there's a slight argument to that because Chan Gailey knows what Fitz Magic can do. He knows what his strengths are because he's been his OC for like 10 years, 10 out
he
of his
literally
17 years.
threw a
But
dime while his
yeah,
neck was
he's
broken.
throwing back
Knows what
shoulder
he can do.
balls. He's throwing other things as well. It's not just the play calling. It's not just the play calling. It's not just the weapons. It's all 3. So my solution is trade back from 3, pick up another first this year and another first next year. Pick up more picks. Get Tua some weapons. Get a better offensive coordinator. And if he doesn't have it this year, you have multiple 1s, you have multiple 2s, and you can trade up for a quarterback if you need to. After
Yeah.
this year, if Tua's not the guy, use your 2 first rounders, a second rounder, and a first rounder next year to trade up to get your guy. Because at that point, our team is going to be good. The
Yeah,
defense is basically settled in right now. Offensive line's looking good, but we need maybe 1 more piece on there, 1 linebacker, and some weapons, and then a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I would say, maybe not trade back, read the room, see what's available, take best available in that position, fill in your holes with your first couple picks. I'm not saying don't get a quarterback at all this draft.
No, I'm not saying that either.
Your
I'm
your
grabbing a
quarterback
guy in the third or fifth round.
exactly.
Get some
This I have
competition
here.
in there. Yeah,
Draft a quarterback, but don't do it. Don't buy early, buy late.
right.
You got plenty of space in that quarterback room. That's
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. Um, the only thing I don't agree with is so let's put in this situation. So what you're saying is take best available at 3,
read
which
the room. That's
right.
if you don't have, I don't really
I think
know
we're
the
gonna have
exact.
to trade back is the thing because
Yeah, and that's reading the room because
yeah,
if you need
especially you're
offensive
gonna
linemen, don't take best offensive lineman at 3. You can
yeah
trade back a couple to take offensive linemen. Someone's willing to trade up to get that quarterback.
get that
You
quarter. That's the thing is especially if the Jets end up taking Penei Sewell
know?
and sticking with Sam Darnold for a year, which they'd be idiots to do. If they're going to stick with Sam Darnold, don't pick up Penei Sewell. Trade out because of how many firsts and seconds you can get from that. Just because
Exactly.
their team's a mess. But say they do, they take Sewell. Now you have We're gonna say Trevor Lawrence went 1 because I'm cementing it in there.
Yeah, I
Uh,
would say that.
so you've got a guy like
Justin
Justin Fields,
Zach Wilson,
Zach Wilson, Trey
Trey
Lance, Mac
Lance,
Jones, Kyle Trask, and then the next guy's like Jamie Newman.
Jamie Newman, which is he opted out of Georgia. A lot of people
Yep.
forget about him. I forgot about him. I read him
Yeah.
off my list earlier, thinking
I
about
was
the
gonna say Desmond Ritter, but he's actually going back to college.
Kellen Mond. He's a decent one from Texas
Kellen
A&M.
Mond has taken steps, definitely. He's still a project guy, but again, that's a guy that if you're gonna get early second round, I'm okay with it. You know,
I could
if you think you can mold him because of dude, he's
early third.
athletic. Yeah, he's athletic. He's a big body. He's got an arm. He just needs to be able to read the field a little bit more. So if you want to take him as a project and you really want to take him up in the early second, I'm not mad about it. I definitely think he's more of a mid third to late third round guy though.
But I think all the guys that we listed in front of him, I think they would be taken too early for Miami to buy in on.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a little ridiculous for Miami to go in on a quarterback whenever, like what you said, you need more wide receivers.
yeah.
You need
You
more,
need help.
yeah,
Yep.
you need help at other positions, and you can't really blame your quarterback. But I do think that if you don't re-sign a veteran to help Tua, then next year he's not going to have a decent year. He's going to have an even worse year, and that's whenever you say, "Oh, Tua's not the man." But
Yep.
it's not going to be Tua's fault at that point. It's going to be Miami's fault for not helping him.
Yeah. And check this out. I'm pulling it up right now. Positions. We'll go to quarterback. Update. Check out all these great quarterbacks.
Hmm.
Once it loads. All these great quarterbacks we have to pick from to be our backup veteran quarterback. You got Dak Prescott, who is going to be re-signed. So mark that up. You got 40-year-old Philip Rivers, who there's a chance he's re-signed. He's not going to be re-signed. Jacoby Brissett, who again is one of those guys. Mitchell Trubisky might be re-signed, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who out of all of these, I'd be most comfortable with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He already has the locker room. And again, you get a guy like Philip Rivers who, is going to be, if you want a veteran presence, someone like that, you can give Philip Rivers, sure, but he's going to cost you $15 to $20 million
And he's
compared
bringing
to,
the whole Amish family with him.
yes, compared to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's going to cost you $7. And he'd take a discount too. He loves this team. He's liking Miami. The team likes him. Why are you not sticking with him? Unless you're going to bring in a guy like Tyrod Taylor or a guy like Robert Griffin III or someone like that just has more wheels to him. But again, at the end of the day, if you're, say Dak Prescott's not on there, out of all these guys, the person I want in my locker room is Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yep.
Second is Jacoby Brissett. Third is Mitchell Trubisky. No, third is Tyrod Taylor. Fourth is Mitchell Trubisky, only because he brings another dynamic where he can run. And that's it. Other than that, I don't want any of these guys in my locker room. I don't want any of them. Jameis
Sure.
Winston's going to be re-signed.
Sure you don't want Cam Newton up in there?
No, I do not. Not at all. Not at all. Look, $1.7 million is what they're saying his market value, right? That's what that says, the market value. When I clicked on it. Oh my God! Stop! Oh, I clicked on that. Gosh darn it. Viruses. No.
You got that coronavirus on my computer.
Market value. I don't know actually how to use this. I've never used it on this. It doesn't matter. Basically, they're talking about Washington football team since Ron Rivera was his coach. They're talking about might be interested in him, which they might be. Oh, here we go. Market value. Cool. $31.5 million is his market value. A 4-year, $126 million contract. No, that is not true.
A new car
You
from
will
the
not
pawn shop. That's what that is.
Yeah.
They're claiming it brand new, but you're buying it from the pawn shop, so it's overpriced.
Bro.
And whenever you get it, you
No
know that they just
way.
put black tape over the check engine light.
No way, man. You've got to be kidding me. You're telling me this man who played like crap this year, he looked like he couldn't throw the ball. He looked like he couldn't run the ball. And is old. Is going to get $32 million a year. 4-year contract.
Well, if we're all being honest here, I think that's still a lower cost than Colin Kaepernick.
Look at the guys that they're comparing him to get that value. Guy like
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford, who has
Sean Watson.
the top. He has a top 3
But how can you?
comeback drives in the league.
I don't get that because
Russell Wilson, a top 3 quarterback in the league right now.
look at the year that those 4 players had, and then look at the year
Yeah,
that Cam Newton has.
this dude.
Then
I would argue to say that Cam Newton, who is getting paid what $550,000. Look at this contract. 1 year, $550,000. Right.
Mhm.
1 year, guaranteed at signing, total guaranteed. The rest is incentives, I believe. No, so his cap hit is $1 million. I kind of want to argue to say he wasn't worth the $1 million. Like, it's hard to not be worth $1 million as a quarterback. So I think he was worth it. But at the end of the day, I'd rather see Stidham out there and just see what he has. You know? So
Cam
if you're going to tell me that
eight-
some people can argue that, man, they can argue that he's not worth $1 million, then
8
how are you going to say
10 interceptions?
8 touchdowns? That's total touchdowns, right? That's not even passing.
That's let's double check here.
I'm pretty sure he had
Stats.
I'm almost positive that's total touchdowns, rushing and passing for him. But at the end of the day, this man, 31 years, he'll be 32.
13 total? Is that
13 total touchdowns. That's less than 1 a game, 10 interceptions. He'll be 32 years old. You're gonna tell me that somebody is going to pay him between $20,000 and $40,000 for 4 years? $20,000 to $40,000 a year for 4 years? No way. I don't care if Ron Rivera was his coach. Well, now they might look to bring him in for $4 million a year, a 2-year $8 million deal, 2-year $10 million deal.
No, I think this year proved that he can't just be
I
brought in.
agree. I would take Robert Griffin III over him right now.
I agree 100%. He's a cancer in the locker room.
Yeah.
That's can't throw, can't hardly
Can't run anymore.
Once people realize that that's all he's gonna do, he can't do
Yeah.
it.
Nope.
He's not a little kid running with a piece of candy like Kyler Murray out there.
No, I agree. Okay, I think we hit everything I wanted to talk about today. Do you have any extra things you want to bring up or talk about?
No, I think that's pretty much it. We hit everything.
Yeah. Well, cool. I appreciate you coming on here.
Thanks for having me.
You getting to talk. It's better than me just yapping to myself. So.
It's always glad to be here with you.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's go back to this. Have our faces showing. All right. Well, appreciate everyone who tunes in and watches. And hopefully you guys don't take our bets for this weekend because I'm sure we're not gonna do very well on
None
those.
of them are gonna hit. All of them are wrong. We threw everyone. Please don't waste your money. Save it. Put it in the bank.
Yes. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys.